Welcome to our journey into the depths of ancient wisdom and hidden realities. Before we embark, please take a note of the following.
Disclaimer. This video has been produced with the aid of artificial intelligence, aka AI. The visuals are presented for demonstration only and may not necessarily relate to the corresponding context. It is purely intended to instill curiosity, and viewers are advised to do their own in-depth research. Errors and omissions are to be expected. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Now, let us begin our exploration of Gnosticism and the profound insights it offers. Gnosticism whispers of a hidden reality, a realm beyond the confines of our senses. It speaks of a divine spark within, yearning to break free from the shackles of ignorance. In the Gnostic view, the universe is not merely a creation of a benevolent God, but a stage for a profound cosmic drama, a struggle between light and darkness, knowledge and ignorance. This ancient wisdom tradition invites us to look beyond the veil of the material world and embark on a journey of self-discovery, seeking the divine light within. Imagine a realm of pure spirit, an emanation of the ineffable one, the source of all that is. This is the pleroma, the fullness of divine light where beings of pure consciousness reside. Among them is Sophia, a divine emanation whose name signifies wisdom. Driven by a yearning to know the One, Sophia embarks on a solitary quest for knowledge. A journey that will have profound consequences for herself and the nascent cosmos. The Gnostic Creation Myth, unlike the traditional biblical account, presents a more complex and nuanced perspective on the nature of God and the origin of the universe. It is a tale of both darkness and light, of error and redemption, of the struggle between the forces of ignorance and the pursuit of true knowledge. At its heart lies the idea that the divine is not separate from us, but resides within, a spark of the eternal yearning to be rekindled. The Gnostic texts, often shrouded in mystery and symbolism, offer a glimpse into this ancient wisdom tradition. They speak of a universe teeming with unseen forces, both benevolent and malevolent, vying for influence over humanity. The Gnostics believed that true freedom comes not from blind faith, but from Gnosis, a direct and experiential knowledge of the divine, a knowing that liberates the soul from the chains of material existence. Sophia's quest for knowledge led her to the precipice of the pleroma, the boundary between the divine realm and the void. In her yearning to comprehend the One, she ventured too far, her desire becoming a creative force in itself. This act of emanation, however, was not in harmony with the divine will, for Sophia acted alone, without her consort. From her intense longing, a being of flawed creation emerged, a shadow archetype reflecting Sophia's own incompleteness. This being, blind to its own origin and the divine light, became known as Yaldabaoth, the demiurge, the false god who would claim dominion over the material world. The birth of Yaldabaoth marked a turning point in the cosmic drama. Sophia's fall was not a sin in the traditional sense, but a tragic misstep, a cosmic error with far-reaching consequences. It led to the separation of the spiritual from the material, the creation of a world of shadows where ignorance and illusion would reign. Yet even in this fall from grace, a glimmer of hope remained. Sophia, though diminished, did not abandon her creation. A spark of her divine essence became trapped within the material realm, a seed of Gnosis yearning to be awakened in the hearts of humanity. Yaldabaoth, ignorant of his true origin, became convinced of his own supremacy. He fashioned the material world in his own image, a pale imitation of the true creation, a realm of shadows and illusion. He created the Archons, his cosmic minions, to rule over this flawed creation and keep humanity trapped in a cycle of suffering and ignorance. The Archons, representing the forces of limitation and control, became the wardens of the material realm. They embodied the negative aspects of human experience: fear, greed, envy, and lust. Their goal was to keep humanity blind to their true nature, their divine spark, and their potential for spiritual liberation. Yaldabaoth, the jealous and tyrannical god, sought to hoard the divine light for himself, unaware that he was merely a pale reflection of the true source. He became the god of this world, the god of the Old Testament, who demanded obedience and enforced his laws with an iron fist. However, Yaldabaoth's control was not absolute. Sophia, though diminished, never abandoned her creation. She remained a subtle force within the material realm, a whisper of wisdom in the hearts of those who sought truth. Her presence was a constant reminder of the divine spark within, the potential for Gnosis that Yaldabaoth could never extinguish. The Gnostics saw the Archons as more than just mythical beings. They were seen as psychological and spiritual forces that held humanity captive. They were the forces of conformity, dogma, and blind obedience, seeking to keep us trapped in a cycle of material desire and spiritual ignorance. These forces are still at play today, manifesting as societal structures, limiting beliefs, and negative thought patterns that keep us from realizing our full potential. They feed on our fears, insecurities, and doubts, whispering lies that keep us small and disconnected from our true nature. The Gnostics believed that the material world, while not inherently evil, was a place of illusion, a veil that separated us from the divine. They saw the pursuit of material wealth, power, and pleasure as a distraction from the true goal of human existence, to awaken to our spiritual nature and return to the pleroma, the realm of pure consciousness. The Gnostics offered a path to liberation from this cosmic game of shadows. They believed that by recognizing the illusory nature of the material world and the manipulative tactics of the Archons, we could begin to break free from their grip. This liberation required a shift in consciousness, a turning inward to seek the divine spark within. Section 5. The Spark of Divinity. Awakening to Gnosis. Despite the pervasive influence of the Archons, the Gnostics believed that a spark of Sophia's divine essence resided within each of us. This spark, the divine child within, represented our true nature, our connection to the divine source. Awakening to this inner spark was the key to Gnosis, the direct and experiential knowledge of the divine. Gnosis was not about blind faith or adherence to dogma. It was about a profound inner transformation, a shift in consciousness that allowed us to see through the illusions of the material world and recognize our true identity as spiritual beings. The Gnostics believed that this awakening could be triggered by various means, through mystical experiences, deep contemplation, or contact with a spiritual teacher who had already attained Gnosis. They emphasized the importance of seeking knowledge, not just intellectual knowledge, but the kind of wisdom that transformed the heart and liberated the soul. The journey to Gnosis was not easy. It required courage to question accepted beliefs, to challenge the status quo, and to confront the shadows within ourselves. It demanded a willingness to let go of limiting beliefs, attachments, and fears that kept us bound to the material realm. Section 6. Christ's Revelation, the Way to Liberation. In the Gnostic interpretation of Christianity, Jesus was seen as a divine emissary sent to awaken humanity from its spiritual slumber. He was not considered God in the flesh, but a revealer, a guide who showed the way to Gnosis. According to the Gnostics, Jesus taught that the kingdom of God was not a physical place, but a state of consciousness, a realization of our inherent divinity. He emphasized the importance of love, compassion, and forgiveness as pathways to spiritual liberation. Jesus' teachings were seen as a radical departure from the religious dogma of his time. He challenged the authority of the priests and scribes, urging people to seek direct experience of the divine rather than blindly following religious laws. The Gnostics believed that Jesus' crucifixion was a symbolic representation of the soul's struggle against the forces of darkness. His resurrection represented the triumph of spirit over matter, the ultimate liberation from the cycle of death and rebirth. Section 7. The Gnostic Path, Seeking Inner Wisdom. The Gnostic path was not for the faint of heart. It required a deep commitment to self-discovery, a willingness to confront one's shadows, and a yearning for spiritual liberation. It was a path of inner exploration, seeking the divine spark within, and realizing one's true nature as a spiritual being. The Gnostics embraced various practices to facilitate their spiritual journey, including meditation, contemplation, and ritual. They valued knowledge and wisdom, seeking to understand the nature of the cosmos, the human condition, and the divine. They believed in the power of community, gathering in secret to share their teachings and support each other on their spiritual paths. They saw themselves as seekers of truth, not bound by dogma or blind faith, but open to experiencing the divine directly. The Gnostic path was not about escaping the world, but about transforming it from within. By awakening to their own divinity, the Gnostics believed they could help to heal the fragmentation of creation and usher in a new era of peace and enlightenment. Section 8. Escaping the Matrix, Transcending Limitations. The Gnostic myth can be seen as a powerful metaphor for the human condition. We are all, in a sense, trapped in a matrix of illusion, bound by our beliefs, fears, and desires. The Archons represent the forces within and around us that seek to keep us asleep, unaware of our true potential. The Gnostic message is one of empowerment. It reminds us that we have the power to break free from this matrix. By questioning our beliefs, confronting our fears, and seeking true knowledge, we can begin to dismantle the bars of our self-imposed prison. The journey to liberation is not about becoming someone else, but about remembering who we truly are. It is about shedding the layers of conditioning and programming that have kept us disconnected from our true selves. The Gnostic myth invites us to become spiritual warriors, to fight for our own liberation and the liberation of all beings. It is a call to awaken to our divine potential and create a world that reflects our true nature. Section 9. The relevance of Gnosis today, a timeless message. The Gnostic message is as relevant today as it was centuries ago. We live in a world of increasing complexity and uncertainty, where many people feel lost and disconnected from their true selves. The Gnostic teachings offer a path to meaning and purpose in a world that often seems devoid of both. They remind us that we are not just physical beings, but spiritual beings having a human experience. The Gnostic emphasis on seeking inner wisdom is more important than ever in an age of information overload. We are bombarded with countless messages and beliefs, making it challenging to discern truth from falsehood. The Gnostic call to awaken to our true nature is a potent antidote to the spiritual emptiness that many people experience today. It reminds us that our true worth is not determined by external factors, but by the divine spark within. Section 10. Embracing the divine spark, reclaiming our true nature. The Gnostic journey is ultimately a journey of self-discovery, a process of peeling away the layers of conditioning and programming that obscure our true nature. It is about recognizing the divine spark within and allowing it to illuminate our lives. This process of awakening is not a one-time event, but an ongoing journey of transformation. It requires us to be present, to pay attention to our thoughts, emotions, and actions. It demands that we cultivate self-awareness, honesty, and a willingness to confront our shadows. Embracing the divine spark within means living from a place of authenticity, integrity, and love. It means aligning our actions with our values and using our gifts to make a positive difference in the world. When we connect with our true nature, we tap into a source of limitless potential. We become more compassionate, creative, and courageous. We begin to see the world with new eyes, recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. Section 11. The power of Gnosis, transforming our world. The Gnostic teachings are not just about personal transformation. They have the power to transform our world. When we awaken to our true nature as spiritual beings, we begin to see the world differently. We recognize the inherent worth and dignity of all beings, regardless of their race, religion, gender, or sexual orientation. We develop a deeper understanding of the interconnectedness of all life, realizing that our actions have far-reaching consequences. Gnosis inspires us to act with compassion, understanding, and a commitment to justice. It compels us to challenge systems of oppression and inequality, working to create a world where all beings can thrive. The Gnostic vision is one of a world where love, compassion, and wisdom prevail. It is a world where people live in harmony with each other and with the natural world. It is a world where the divine spark within each of us is recognized and celebrated. Section 12. Conclusion. A journey of self-discovery. The Gnostic Creation Myth, with its complex characters and profound symbolism, offers a timeless message for spiritual seekers of all ages. It reminds us that we are not just passive observers in a preordained universe, but active participants in a cosmic drama of our own making. The journey of Gnosis is a journey of self-discovery, a quest to uncover the hidden depths of our being and realize our true potential as spiritual beings. It is a journey that requires courage, compassion, and an unyielding commitment to truth. The Gnostic teachings invite us to look beyond the veil of illusion and awaken to the divine spark within. They remind us that we are not separate from the divine, but expressions of it, each carrying within us the potential for liberation and enlightenment. The journey may be challenging, but the rewards are immeasurable. For in the words of the Gnostic scriptures, know thyself, and you will know the all. If you have found this presentation enticing, please hit the like button and share it with your network. We intend to bring to light some thought-provoking contents on various topics to raise curiosity and encourage the attainment of wisdom. Be sure to subscribe and leave your comments and suggestions, and let us know if you would like information on any particular topics. Join the conversation. Makarachi.